Alright guys, having some issues with the new Betaflight 4.0 firmware. I want to show you guys and let you see what I've been experiencing. So let's go ahead and plug in the quadcopter, show you that it does work on the Betaflight older firmware. See, the flight controller is flashing a green and it has a yellow, and you can see on the screen that everything looks good. This is the 3.5.7 firmware. Now watch what happens. Go ahead and disconnect. I'm going to go ahead and put this JB F4 all-in-one V2 in the bootloader mode. So we'll go ahead and unplug. I'm going to push down on the bootloader button, and then we're going to plug in the cable. You see we have a solid yellow light on the flight controller. And you can see right here we're in DFU mode. Now we're going to go to update firmware. And you can see the new Betaflight actually has been auto-detecting my board. But this time it's not. Interesting. Oh, there it goes. So it's already selected the proper target, as you can see right here. And here it is. This is the newest stable release, is the 4.0.0 CL Racing F4. Okay, that was added November 4th, 2019. So you see what I have selected here. So now we're going to go ahead and load the firmware. Downloading now. Okay, now we're going to flash. Now watch this. Okay, so it's erasing. Still have a solid yellow light on the FC. Okay, it's erasing. Now we're flashing. Doesn't seem to have any issues erasing and flashing the new firmware, but watch what happens when it gets done flashing. Okay, verifying. Program successful, it says, right? But look at the flight controller. It still has a solid yellow light. No flashing green light whatsoever. Okay? So, you can try to connect. And obviously nothing's happening. So, must be some kind of a bug or something with this new firmware, because I don't have any green light flashing on my FC. Here I am trying to connect, and you can see it's not connecting. Right? Yep, serial port closed. I've even tried to use the Impulse RC driver fixer as well, and that doesn't do anything either. So there's something about this firmware that the flight controller does not like it. But let's see what happens when we run the driver fixer. We are searching for flight controller. It's like it's stuck in DFU mode even after the firmware's flashed. It's not actually rebooting out of DFU mode. And very interesting. I really was excited to put 4.0 on this flight controller, but as of right now it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. And it just sits here and just searches and searches and nothing happens. So let's go ahead and unplug the USB. Now we're going to put it back into bootloader mode, okay? So I'm going to push down on the boot pin at the same time, plugging in the USB. Okay, we have a solid yellow light indicating we are in DFU bootloader mode. Now we're going to go to update firmware. I'm going to let this go ahead and pick out the target. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to 357. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to load firmware online. And we're going to go ahead and flash. Okay, it's erasing. Basically performs exactly the same as the 4.0 until the end. And you'll see it. I have the camera recording the flight controller so you can see the LEDs. Make sure it's close enough for you to see it. Alright, so we're flashing. Now watch what happens when we get to the end. Verifying. Okay. See it? You see the flight controller flash green rapidly. Then it flashed green slowly. Now it went to COM 3. Now watch what happens when I connect. Boom. No problems. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I've done this. I've tried this probably 5 to 7 times, and I get the same result every time. It will not accept the 4.0 firmware. It's like there's some kind of bug in it that's not allowing it to switch out of the DFU mode and go back into being read by the USB. But the earlier firmware, it works fine. So this is the Joshua Bardwell all-in-one V2 flight controller. So drop it down in the comments what you think. And let me know if you guys have been having any similar experiences with the new Betaflight 4.0 firmware. And you can see right here I downloaded the newest Betaflight configurator 10.5.1. So everything's up to date. All my drivers are up to date. Obviously my drivers are reading the flight controller in 357. But for some reason that 4.0 firmware just won't take for this flight controller. So yeah, I guess I'm just going to stay with 357. Maybe that's just the way it's meant to be. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We have a super blowout 3,000 subscriber giveaway coming soon on the channel. You don't want to miss it. So make sure you're subscribed and click that bell icon so you get notified first when I put out the videos, so you can go ahead and get your entry in when the time comes. Till next time, guys, edrone out.